Hey guys, what's up? It's me. Well, I got my computer back. He did some updates or whatever, and he says, oh, everything's fine, blah, take it home. Ugh. But we shall see about that. Anyway, while I was at the Best Buy, I had a $20 gift certificate to use. So while I was waiting for my computer, I went wandering around the store, and I saw this thing. And I looked at this thing, and I was like, my God, this thing is awesome. If I could afford this thing, I would so buy it. I was like, I have a $20 coupon, $20 off coupon. Let me find out how much this thing is. And I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking, oh, I probably won't be able to afford it. It's probably over $60. So I go up, I have the guy check the price. It was only $40 for this thing. And I was like, that means I'd get it for like 20. 20 bucks for this awesome thing. Excuse me, I'm thirsty. I'm parched. Very, very refreshing, sort of. So I was so excited, I went and bought this thing, and I know you're all itching to know what it was that I bought. Well, this is going to be so mind-blowingly awesome, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. Okay. This is probably one of the most awesome things I think I've bought in a long time. This is what I'm considering this to be my Christmas present to myself. Look at this! Karaoke party at Janet's house! What? I did actually tweet about buying a karaoke machine, and it's like, it's so badass. I mean, look at that. The front fucking lights up. You can hook your iPod up to it. It comes with a microphone. I mean, yes, it comes with a microphone. So when I do my next song parody, I can actually put my CD into this fucker instead of having to worry about the computer being too loud. I can just plug it into this. And the cool thing is, if I had a karaoke CD, you know, like at the bars where it has lyrics, I can hook it up to my TV and look at the lyrics on my TV screen. I mean, how badass is that? But I'm really excited about this. I'm just like, oh, let's say what? Karaoke machine? I mean, look at this microphone. Look at this microphone. Look at it. Look at it. It has an on and off switch. Isn't that fucking awesome? And, I mean, like I said, I was all over this. I mean, for 40 bucks, I was totally all over this. Since I don't really go out for karaoke very much anymore, let me see, where's the open button? How do you, oh, you open it like this. Wow, it's got like a little fake disc inside. Look at this. Ooh, fake CD. But, yeah, and supposedly this whole thing around here lights up and it gets all disco techno-y. I mean, I almost want to hook up my iPod to this thing. Oh, whoa! Whoops. Are you okay? Are you okay? I didn't kill you? Okay, I almost threw the karaoke machine at my computer. Okay, so, anyways, did I mention how nice the microphone was? Anyway, it's portable, as you can see. I'm gonna throw. Whoa! No, I'm not gonna throw it at you again. It's got, like I said, the thing in the back here, so you can, like, hook it up to your TV and shit. It's got a thing for batteries. It's got a thing for the AC adapter, so I can, like, plug that shit in if I want to. Or I can just put... What size batteries does it take? It doesn't really say. What? Oh, C. It takes a shitload of C batteries. 2, 4, 6, I'm guessing 8 C batteries is what it takes, but I am probably just going to use the plug and plug it into the wall. But I actually really want to plug it in and see what it looks like when it's plugged in. So, as far as what's been going on with me lately, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of anything lately. I had a really shitty week. I was really stressed out and depressed and stuff. I actually ran into my mom's therapist when I went out to lunch today, and it was really depressing. It was really depressing because I guess he had some old paperwork, because my mom was really close with her therapist, if you know what I mean. And I guess she was writing a book. She was like writing a book, and she wrote like a couple chapters, and I guess she sent them to him to see what he thought of them. And I guess he gave me copies of those. Let me see if I can turn this thing on. Not to change the subject or anything, but yeah. Power! I demand power! I want power! How come it's not lighting up? It's not doing anything! My feelings are hurt. Internet, my feelings are hurt. I was expecting this thing to light up and it's not doing nothing! Oh wait, maybe if I click this little switch that says lights on. Yay! Look! Look! It's so awesome! Oh my god, look at all the pretty lights! Oh, Janet of the Funk! Anyway, wow, that is really awesome. I'm sorry, I'm easily distracted by shiny things. Shiny. It unplugged! Don't make the lights go away! It's okay. Everything's fine, the lights are back. Anyway, enough of that shit. I'm just going to put that down there. So if you see me looking down, it's probably because I'm looking at the lights. But anyway, so yeah, that was a good time. As far as that stuff with my mom, I thought I'd go ahead and read some of it for you. These were a couple chapters that she wrote. She also wrote a letter to her therapist, and it was dated March 22nd of 1999. So she wrote this a long time ago. She put 2 more very rough chapters, just wrote, and this came up so easily. Much more editing to do. Recurring, perhaps, but very important. Not embellished. Love, Gloria. So I was going to go ahead and read these 2 chapters for you really quick, providing I don't go over 15 minutes. The name of her book, I guess, was called Buried Alive. And chapter 2 she titled, I Don't Want a Baby Brother. Let me fix this a little better. I guess I was around 7 years old when they told me Mom was going to have a baby. I waited so long for her to arrive. They kept telling me it might be a boy, but there was no way I would believe that. I would have a baby sister, and that was that. Finally, the day came. Dad took Mom to the hospital, and I stayed with my Grandma Angela, waiting for my baby sister to arrive. When the phone rang, I heard my grandma say, "Is everything okay?" And then she handed me the phone. I said, "Daddy, did my baby sister arrive?" "No, honey, you have a baby brother, and his name is Michael." I threw the phone and ran off running around the house screaming, "I don't want a baby brother, I want a baby sister." My grandma tried to comfort me, but I just kept saying, "I don't want a baby brother, I want a baby sister." The phone rang. It was my dad, and he wanted to talk to me. "Honey, you do have a baby sister. The nurse made a mistake." Again, I circled the house, screeching for joy. I had a baby sister, and her name was Shirley. It seemed forever before she would come home from the hospital, such a little bundle. But they wouldn't let me hold her or get too close, as people came to visit this little one. I hid behind the sofa, watching. My dad had always paid some attention to me, holding me, taking me for walks with my dolly in her buggy. He would take me to his favorite hangout, the neighborhood bar, where he had a lot of friends. He would sit me on the counter, while all of his friends would fuss over how cute I was. How I loved that attention, and my dad seemed so proud of me. Suddenly, I was invisible, non-existent. It was as if I had died. He did not have any time for me anymore. Mom was not well, and demanded all of his attention. I loved my little baby sister. It was as if she was my very own baby doll, and I had to protect her from the evil in that house. I was used to it, but she was not. She did not know how awful it could be when Mom would lose control, become a raging force, unleashing all of her anger on her very own little girl. Shirley was safe enough for now, but I was the one that had to be very still, hold my breath, hide when I could, until she would find me, and she always found me. She would beat me, I do not remember why. I had been taught at a very young age to lie about black eyes and bruises, and I knew better than to ever tell the truth to anyone who asked about them. Well, the surface bruises would heal, but the bruised heart would not. Dad did not seem to care. He would watch her beat me whenever she would be out of control, and never once did he try to stop her. How could he watch his precious little girl who loved him so be so mistreated? He was too weak to stop this woman. She was so verbally abusive to him that he lost his identity, all of his dignity, but he also lost all of my respect, something he would never regain. Ever. This horror would continue for a very long time. I watched Shirley like a hawk. If she cried, I would crawl under her crib and rock it until she would go back to sleep, so she would not disturb her. Dad just watched, turning to alcohol. I guess his pain was so great he did not know what to do. But I was just a little girl, and how could I know? The memory of his love and caring would fade until it too was non-existent. Such a loss. And that was all she wrote for chapter 2. There was one more chapter in the folder. I'll try to get through this fast because I'm already at 11 and a half minutes here. Chapter 3, Rape to the Soul. To be 8 years old and yet to be always so vigilant to what was going on around you, you could not let your guard down, not even for a moment. The risk was great and so frightening. How could one be a child, spontaneous, and at the same time be so alert? Well, you couldn't. I paid dearly for spontaneity. It didn't go well with the living doom always present in that house. A roller coaster ride always, never stable, never safe. Just fear, survival day by day, nightmares, walking in my sleep, such a frightened, nervous little girl. However, daylight would bring another little girl to life. She seemed like such a happy, vivacious, very verbal child, charismatic, talented, playful, everyone would say. What a beautiful child, so sweet. My mother would always say, well, if you really knew her, you would know what a bad, dirty little girl she really is. I would do just about anything to get other people to pay attention to me, and they did. However, there was a price to pay for my sunny disposition. For when they were gone, she would get even for me being so cute. It seemed to just devastate her that I could reach out to others and trick them into believing I was a real sweet little girl and not the bad seed she seemed to see. However, I never gave up. I somehow knew my salvation was in their hands. All the others who could see the light in my eyes and feel me reach out to them. I was creating my own hell in some ways, for I knew sooner or later it would be just me and her, and I would have to pay the piper one way or another. I guess I thought it was worth it, for I just never stopped performing for others any way I could, just for their approval. Damn her. She was the enemy and I had to win. I just did not know how long that would take, and the damage I would have to suffer if I was to stick to that course of action, to confront her. Knowing I could never win, well, it seemed that way. Rape of the soul, for that was what it was. The Chinese water torture treatment, one drop at a time, never ending, day after day, year after year. She was so unrelenting, but so was I. If I had I had a good teacher, and my mother, myself. But I lacked the cruel, vicious streak with which she seemed so consumed, to the core of her soul, so filled with self-hate and rage. At each birthday I arrived, I became more demanding of the rights I was being denied, but she would only tighten her grasp on my very soul, seem to reveal in her own power over my very existence, making sure I never forgot how very evil and ugly I was, and yet, glancing back at photographs of a very lovely child who tried to offer so much love to her, love she could never accept or extend, for she too had been brutalized all of her childhood life by my grandparents. My grandparents were born in Italy and came to America to be married. My grandmother was 18 when she made the trip alone. My grandfather had arrived before to make the arrangements. The only job he could get was working in a factory making barrels, for which he was paid 2 cents a barrel. They had 7 children, being strict Catholics, so they were forced to live at a very low poverty style, which had to be very difficult on everyone. Well, the beat does go on, unfortunately. Abuse begets abuse, I have no doubt. All victims, all dysfunctional, all extremely violent and abusive. So it seemed her heart was so damaged and vulnerable, she dared not let anyone in. She simply could not take the risk. The power struggle continued. Knowing I could never really win did not seem to stop me from trying to break free from her grasp.